In today's video, we are on the A1 just south of Grantham. Something massive has appeared on the skyline, and if you keep your eyes peeled at the end of these trees, you'll see it on the left hand side. At this point, that big square object in the distance is still 4 miles away. We're going to be telling you exactly what it is, and we're also going to be talking about a new diner that's just opened at the nearby truck stop. Let's discuss it. On the trucker's eye. The market town of Grantham sits in the southern part of the county of Lincolnshire. It's most famous for being the birthplace of people like Sir Isaac Newton, and also Britain's First Lady Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher. So just focusing on Sir Isaac Newton for a minute or two, he was actually born at a place called Woolsthorpe Manor. He was born in this manor on Christmas Day, December the 25th, 1642. As well as being famous for being Newton's home, the manor is also famous for its apple orchard. Newton is said to have been inspired to formulate his law of universal gravitation after observing an apple fall from a tree. Apparently, that same 400-year-old tree is still in the grounds of the manor. Today, the manor is a museum, and it is also a very popular tourist attraction. Whilst visiting the manor, visitors can also explore the room where Newton used a prism to split sunlight into colours. I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. Now, when starting this channel, I never ever thought I would be able to link Sir Isaac Newton with HGVs. Now, I could easily link trucks to Isaac Newton through his third law of motion, but I'll do it a different way. Because Woolsthorpe Manor is actually in a place called Woolsthorpe by Colsterworth. Now, I'm sure if you're a HGV driver, you won't need me to tell you what is at Colsterworth. And just by chance, I was running a little bit early for my delivery, so I thought I would head to Colsterworth Truck Stop. Newton's third law is also known as the law of action and reaction, which is ironic as I needed an action of eating some food and a reaction of filling my empty stomach. And it just so happens that Colsterworth Truck Stop have built a brand new diner, so it would be rude not to visit. And here it is, the brand new A1 Stadium Diner at Colsterworth Truck Stop. And as you can see, there is fuel and a truck wash on site. There is also a good amount of truck parking spaces available. There also looks like there's an opportunity for future expansion. But it's time to get inside and check out that brand new diner. I have to say that the Christmas dinner did sound very appealing, but not for breakfast. Instead, I decided to stick with something a lot lighter. Before eating, I thought it looked very nice, and I have to say, the system that they have for announcing when your order is ready is top notch.
Order 112 is ready for collection.
Thank you, J.R. Ewing. And I'm pleased to tell you that it was absolutely delicious. But it was time to head back up the A1 North for 2 miles and to go and find that big massive cube thing that we saw in the beginning of the video. And as we take the slip road off, I want you to pay particular attention to the signpost in front of us. Please note the 13'3" bridge. Now this isn't really significant, but I will come back to it a bit later on. A couple more turns and we will be on the right road and heading up towards the cube.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
Sorry, Obi-Wan, it's actually not that glamorous. But what it is Britain's newest and biggest cold store facility. This massive cube-like structure, or Phase 2, as the owners of the building, Magna Vale, call it, will soon be fully operational. And as we turn into the clearly unfinished site, you can see that some things are already starting to happen.
That thing's operational!
But just what is the big deal about a massive cold store? Well, I'll tell you. The eastern site's inception dates back to 1983, when Christian Salverson built the cold store. The site also saw ownership by Norbert Dentressangle, who became XPO and then latterly GXO. And then ultimately, Magna Vale acquired the site, which houses 44,000 pallets. The plan was already in place to build Phase 2, which would add an additional 101,000 pallets to the storage capacity. This would make it Britain's biggest cold store. But here's an impressive bit. It will be Europe's most energy efficient cold store, run entirely on renewable energy. The pallet storage system is completely automated, and as you can see here, during the build process, it's quite extensive. But even more impressive is watching the video on Magna Vale's own YouTube site, which shows you how the process works. Very, very impressive, I'm sure you'll agree. At 45 metres, this is Britain's highest built coal store. But does it have the highest cold storage pallet capacity in the UK? You might think that storing 145,000 pallets would make it so. But there is another coal store that stores 168,000 pallets, and that's Reed Bordle in Boroughbridge. However, those 168,000 pallets are stored between 4 coal chambers, whereas this brand new cube, built at Easton, stores 101,000, making it Britain's biggest single chamber coal store. So it's over to you guys. Have you delivered to this site, or have you just driven past it wondering what it is? As I'm sure you're all aware, the downside to building these brand new warehouses seems to be that they are all automated. If you read that article about Christian Salverson, you'll see that there was 440 employees on this site back in the day. And obviously with automation, the need for employees becomes less. And what about the road structure around the site? As I showed you earlier, there is a 13'3" bridge just down the road. Are the roads and the road layouts in the immediate area going to be adequate for the amount of trucks that are going to this site? And who'd have thought that just a stone's throw from Sir Isaac Newton's birthplace, they would have Britain's highest coal store? I guess the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Once again, I'd like to thank you for watching the video. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did and you haven't subscribed, then please consider doing so. And once again, if you have already subscribed, a massive thank you to every single one of you. I'm off to find my voice, as it's been missing for the last week and a half. Some say that would be a good thing, but I'll see you all next week on The Trucker's Eye.